Hi everybody, if you've recently purchased a gaming monitor for your Xbox Series S or X, like the HP27xq Quad HD 144hz 1440p monitor that should be capable of doing 1440p 120 frames a second on your next gen console, you'll probably find out that it doesn't seem to be able to do it. And the reason for this is it's kind of a firmware issue with the Xbox, in the fact that the standards that the monitor uses and lots of monitors use isn't quite acceptable to the Xbox, so it won't automatically do 120 frames a second. So at the moment you can't get 1440p 120 frames a second out of these types of monitors, but you can get 1080p 120 frames a second, which is very, very impressive indeed. So what you need to do is you go into your settings like so, and then you go into your TV and display options, and then you'll see you have the ability to change the resolution. You can see that there, and if you've probably gone into the settings on your monitor, and you see you can change the resolution there as well, but you want to be able to do it automatically. So what you want to do is you go, but there's no option to change the frame rate, and often you'll go into games and it will say in the game the 120 frames a second option will be grayed out, or it will say your monitor doesn't support this resolution. So what you do is you go to video fidelity and overscan, and then you go to overrides in the top left hand corner, and then you want to select HDMI override, and it should give you that setting. Do you really want to do this? And you say yes. There we go, and then it will go down to really low resolution. So you go back, so we're at 640 by 480. So now we can go back up to 1440p. So now we're kind of in the game mode that our monitor was running in. So it's 1440p, 60 frames a second, which, don't get me wrong, is very, very nice. But you'll notice here we now have an option to change the refresh rate. Now, on this particular monitor, you can't choose 127 hertz. 120 hertz, 1440p, because again, the monitor will do it, but the Series S or the Series X don't recognize the way that it does it. Hopefully there will be a firmware update that changes this. But what you can do is, if you change the resolution down to 1080p, like so, then you accept that resolution, you can then change the frame rate to 120 hertz, 120 frames a second, and you say yes. And now if you go into games that support 120 frames a second, say like Call of Duty Vanguard, you'll be able to select that option. If there's a frame boost option for games, you'll be able to select that as well, and you'll be able to enjoy 120 FPS at 1080p, which is still pretty good. And as I say, hopefully pretty soon Xbox will do some sort of firmware that means that the 1440p, the Quad HD mode at 120 frames a second will work with these monitors, because there's lots and lots of monitors that do this. It's not just the HP27xq. It's a big problem with lots of gaming monitors where the standard they use is slightly different to what the Xbox expects, so it doesn't do it. Anyway, hopefully that's been useful. If it has, hit like. If you want to see more, the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.